show owners. Today we'll be talking about network system implementation for Marconi Law in Orlando, Florida. We will touch on what is and is not covered in the scope of the project, some of the benefits for the new network, what is required to create the infrastructure. We will cover a floor plan with network diagram, locations of equipment, the capital needed and requirements for operation, and then we'll go over equipment specs and details. Finally, we will finish with a section for lessons learned. The scope of this project is detailed more in the project report, but it covers researching and reviewing the hardware, including computers for the existing employees, Dan Marconi, Evelyn Schultz, Brian Smith, Phil Jones, Mike Drums, Bill Shoemaker, Karen Stark, Lisa Brooks, Terry Long, and Samuel Adams. Setting up a working network to include 2 switches, a wireless access point, server, phones, and a conference room, TV, and phone. It also includes ensuring each account has access to a shared drive on the server, printing capabilities. During the design and installation of the system, there will be weekly status reports detailing progress, and at the end of the second week, a demonstration of accessing various accounts within each group and their shared folders. The system provides benefits fitting the business case in the areas of scalability. By using a server, it is easy to add additional accounts to the server, and by purchasing an additional computer and connecting it to the network, it'll work. The system is inherently secure because all of the information being shared is local instead of having to send it over the internet. It allows easier collaboration by another person by simply accessing the shared folder to work on a case. The system is intuitive because it uses Windows, which is familiar to many people. The attorneys have laptop computers that give flexibility to work where they need to. Communication is elevated by the incorporation of a voice over IP system, with each desk having a phone. The server is upgradable in storage and system resources. This gives the best speed possible at the best price point. So what is needed exactly to make the system operate, you ask? Well, the purchase of 10 workstations, 3 of which are desktop computer combinations, 2 mini client desktop setups, 5 laptop computers, 2 printers, 1 server rack, a power supply for the server, 2 switches, 1 wireless access point, 1 TV, 11 phones, a license for Microsoft Server, and optionally a license for Microsoft Office for each employee, some Cat6 wiring, and some monitors and keyboards and mice. So here is the floor plan with the network diagram, and as you can see, each employee will have a space that is theirs. The printers are strategically placed to minimize interference with other tasks. The server will be placed in a room added for security and to keep it out of sight. All of the wiring will be ran in the ceiling to the closest wall and then terminate nearest the workstation. The attorney's laptops will utilize the wireless network along with the conference room TV. Well, the proposed cost of the project is around $24,000. This includes all of the computers and other hardware, phones, server, and its hardware, wiring, software, and 1 year of support and maintenance provided by my company. Now, to give an idea about the computers and other hardware included, the attorneys, who are the workforce of this company, will get the Asus Flip laptop. These are 2-in-1 devices having a multi-touch screen on a full range hinge, able to be used as a tablet for on-the-go note-taking. Powered by an Intel Celeron dual-core processor and 4 GB of RAM, these will offer the speed and stability needed for anything the attorneys may need to do. The administrative assistant will get an Asus all-in-one desktop with a similar dual-core processor and 4 gigs of RAM. This all-in-one system consumes minimal desk space but will allow daily tasks to be completed with ease. For the accountant and Mr. Marconi, an MSI all-in-one Pro system having a 23.8-inch display, dual-core processor, 4 gigs of RAM, will elevate the professional image and allow for smooth workflows with a maximum screen size but minimal desk clutter. The accountant will get a second display for best viewing of financial records and budgets. The legal assistants, who will most likely be working with other attorneys at their desks, will get the MSI QB, a mini client computer optimized for cubicle installations. A 19.5-inch monitor, keyboard, and mouse complete their complement. The server is an HPE ProLiant Micro, having space for 4 additional hard drives, a dual-core processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and 4 network ports. One of these ports will be used to connect to the wide area network from the ISP, while the other ports, we'll consume 2 of them with 16 port switches, which will handle the routing to and from the server to the workstations. The wireless access point will be connected to one of these switches as well as the administrative, accounting computers, and printers. This leaves one port available on the server. The second switch will handle all of the phone traffic, minimizing possible interference in workflows. Using Cat6 wiring for all of the networking allows for a maximum speed of 1000 megabytes per second. The 2 printers are Xerox work centers, allowing copying, printing, faxing, and scanning. By having 2, the administrative group can use one while the attorneys are using another. Documents have almost no chance of getting mixed up. Finally, the software load is minimal. A license to Microsoft Server and Microsoft Office per use with a minimum of a 1-year commitment is all that's needed. For lessons learned, the biggest lesson that I learned during this project is to never underestimate the level of detail to provide. Whether it's the first week of planning or the last week, the more details you include, the easier the following tasks become. I also did not realize how quickly the cost of a project can add up. When I started this, I guessed around $15,000, and it actually worked up to be almost double that. I was able to apply a lot of the information gained through the class information to different aspects of this project, and if I have to do something like this in the future, I feel I will be much better prepared. Thank you.